Welcome everyone to another amazing PS3 video, but more how the only constant is change and regressions is reoccurrently breaking things in the software ecosystem and especially open source and Linux kernel. I am very much aware that I am not making myself even more popular with this kind of videos of speaking the truth, and probably my quality standards are simply so much higher for years already. Maybe it's engineering made in Germany, I don't know, but there is something seriously wrong. As much as people, I understand, again, I'm not making myself more popular and I understand people have other views, but when even I, with my small little company and surrounding community and things, every month I find something broken, right? And it's always so trivial stuff. And yet again, I knew for quite a while the PS3 storage driver in Linux is broken. I knew at least for a year already. I just never had time and the motivation to bisect this. Today I bisected this and I expected everything, but what I found shocked me even more. And it's not related if you say PS3 some abandoned vintage and retro and no love anymore. It doesn't matter, it happens constantly, right? We have seen this, yes, with other vintage and retro, Ultra Spark, Fiber Channel, right? Stuff broken, how long was it? Broken 6 years. It also happens with other stuff, right? On our channel, you probably want to share, like, and subscribe. A year or so ago, we bisected on Epic, thread ripping, latest and greatest enthusiast and server and stuff. We found it 2000, not 2, not 20, not 200, 2000, was it percent? 2000% or so performance regression in better FS, right? So it's not always vintage and retro. So what happened here? I bisected that. Do I still have this on my screen? Maybe, probably, potentially bisect. Do we have get bisect? Would that print this out or info or report, or what is the skip next visualize? Visualize, maybe, whatever. Oh, here's a freaking log. Is there not a freaking result? Yeah, whatever. So that is the final first bad commit. Previous video, right? PS3 disk use mem copy from to BVEC. And I expected everything. I expected some generic bug in some block subsystem or multi-queue surrounding infrastructure, but I saw this commit, right? And I scrolled over this, yeah, somehow a generic conversion, probably fine. And 4 people, so what is shocking? So this is the first bad commit. It is, in the meantime, live streaming this in 2023. This bug is precisely 2 freaking years old, right? Not one, but not one, but 2. And sure, it looks like a simple, humble commit. I also scrolled over this, right? What is shocking is 4 people were involved, right? Authored by 4 world-renowned Linux kernel developer who all, in my opinion, should know better, right? It's not an unsuccessful tiny little company or YouTube channel. 4 freaking people were involved. I don't want to, it's not about personally shaming those people. They are world-renowned, they are the best of the industry. It is, I'm just live streaming this about how not to develop software, right? Authored by Christoph Helwig, committed by Jens Axbo, and so signed off by them, right? Reviewed by someone from Oracle, Martin K. Peterson, and tested by the PS3 freaking maintainer. I have no idea how he tested it. Maybe he compiled tested it, but he obviously, I mean, maybe he boot tested it, but he certainly did not use the storage because the data is coming out of there is completely freaking broken, right? And in this tiny, so this looks like a tiny little refactoring. What do they do here? It's like, yes, it's open coded, mem copy. Also, to be fair, I think very few driver did it like that. And this is also, they needlessly touched it, right? It was working, it was not the worst code. And so they, and this is what I mean. This is the quintessence of what I constantly, for 15 years in my private circles with people in the industry, on Linux Talk and friends and family, and now for 4 years on YouTube. This is a quintessence of what I always say, and merchandise below. Do we have? Yeah, we have merchandise down below there. And if the woman stuff is showing, we also have it for men. the woman stuff just looks better, and YouTube always recommends it to me. The only constant is change and regressions, right? You touch stuff, you break it. And what's not tested, my other recurring theme, what's not tested is broken. I don't know how they tested it, but there are 2 freaking bugs in it. And this is everywhere, right? It's not only P3, it's also Ultras bug, it's SCSI, it's SAS, it's BetterFS, it's constantly. And the problem with it is slow is faster and less is more, right? Stop, please stop. I mean, I'm aware that the Linux kernel people don't listen to me. Maybe I need to go to maybe I need to fly Shellac, subscribe, Patreon, GitHub. Maybe I need to fly me, not that I would fly to the Linux Plumbers conference somewhere and they would listen to me. Of course, they are world renowned and they know everything better, just like I know everything better. But maybe I have a point, right? And imagine, this is just the top of the iceberg that the Linux kernel Titanic is constantly crashing into and sinking. Multiply this with all the stuff that I don't find, I don't see because I don't have a DIC Alpha or Titanium, but no, not seriously, because I don't have an Epic, I don't have a Threadripper. Imagine it's like how many multiplied with things like the Steam Deck AMD stuff is still broken, like, and has random hiccups here on my Steam Deck with my 24/7. So you want to see that? Have you had now 10 minutes of my monologue? Yeah, 10 minutes. Spot on. Data. Yeah, maybe pause the video, go to this commit. Okay. Did you find the 2 bugs already? The first bug, so what did they do? They have here, okay, this is a debug. They iterate here for the request. This is a P3 disk scatter gather, I think mostly used in the interrupt handler. So this is code for each block request going to the P3 storage. For, like, imagine a file system or your editor or whatever is reading files. And that is scattered, like might be 1 block here, 1 block there, the usual fragmentation stuff. And so iterating all the blocks and scheduling those to the hypervisor. So this is copying from and to, previously with memcopy, now with new memcopy to, like, here's the previous memcopy, right? The minus is removed, the plus is added. And did we find the bugs already? And so the bug is here, the first bug is this offset. Like, if you study what is added, what is moved, what is removed, so they removed here this offset plus size, right? And like, how did it pass? I mean, sure, nobody's interested in P3 and I have no idea how they tested it, but they removed incrementing the freaking offset. How could this ever have passed testing? I mean, I get it. I scrolled over this, I didn't instantly see it, but I was not part of the review chain, right? If someone gives me code to review, maybe, sure, I can also overlook something, but maybe that is also the point of maybe not ever constantly change the freaking code around for no good freaking reason. So that is the first, right? So going over all the segments here, for all the segments. So previously we had here size equals b vec buffer length here, b block vector length here. So previously the offset was incremented by the size, right? This is bug number 1. And with bug number, so I added this back and I can, surprise, yay, I get data again. I can boot my Linux again because previously only 1 block IO worked the stuff because incrementing the offset wasn't there. Professionals. The problem is now I get massive BetterFS checksum errors, and I believe that's probably a second bug. I've not yet tested that because fiddling that back in there, I guess that is a flush kernel decache page here which they removed because it's like, yeah, it's booting, but we get some random data corruption with adding this, incrementing the offset back. So I guess maybe the flush kernel decache page has something to do with it, which they also deleted in the process of refactoring it. So yeah, leave in the comments below. That is how open source developer forever wasted each other's time. I say open source developers because in my opinion this kind of stuff is not happening in normal businesses, because at Microsoft and Apple they do not as much refactor code? Should they also refactor code? But in my opinion, the Linux kernel, not even the FreeBSD or obviously not the FreeBSD. Why is FreeBSD, OpenBSD, not FreeBSD, delete that, right? Control W. NetBSD and OpenBSD, why are they more stable? Because they constantly, they do not constantly refactor, fiddle, move and touch code around, right? They just only touch code when they add features or security or fix a bug, and not just for fun. The Linux kernel is, I would say, leave in the comments below if you work in this area. My ballpark figure is probably 50% or maybe even more. Code changes in the Linux kernel are just for fun, just like Linus Torvalds' book or whoever wrote it, just for fun. And in my opinion, this is not how you should develop software. Sure, refactoring cleanups are nice, but only when really necessary. And I would say the Linux kernel has somehow, they established this mantra of over cleaning. I mean, the Linux kernel code is not even the best. Sure, the new code is better. There is still so much. They clean, refactor and touch so much code. Yet each time I look in something a little bit older, the code quality is still horrible, right? But yeah, so next, the problem is I can't instantly add this back here because I would somehow need, because they refactored this BVEC KMap IRQ. I believe this mapped the page in kernel memory, and they removed that. The commit after this commit is removing that. So adding this flush kernel decache page thing back there is not. Oh, by the way, we could actually Google how many other times we find that somewhere. Yeah, P3 flash. Lots of P3 use, mostly P3 use. Interestingly, not the most use here. Given it was there, it is probably necessary, so I don't have that much hypervisor and PowerPC implementation details knowledge. But given that the original Sony developers, including Geoff Levan, who, as far as I remember, is one of those original developers, added it there, it probably was necessary, right? Like nothing like 20 years ago, hey, we need to flash the kernel data cache or so. 20 years later, it's probably not there for some good reason, let's delete it because now YOLO. What the code looks cleaner now, doesn't it? We can do not agree this is so much cleaner, BVEC. Like it looks so clean now. Hey, we achieved something. It's clean code, yay! Just a little bit data corrupting, but what do I know? It is, so that is a video. I'm hungry now. It is, if it would not be so sad, it would be entertaining and I don't know, it is, if it would be funny if it wouldn't be so sad or something like of that sort. It just, again, it basically the hundreds, if not, and that is what I do for 20 years. For 20 years I fixed shit in GCC, glibc, even Firefox, Linux kernel, like every week, like literally. We also have embedded product server virtualization. It's like, that is my life, right, for 20, and this is also why I'm coming off maybe a little bit sore and bitter and stuff, because what once was a nice hobby of, hey, let's do IT, computers are fun and stuff. It's like, yeah, 20 years bugs. It's like, yeah, give me a break. I'm a little bit done with bugs, right? Would also be cool if something like, if for a change, something would work. And ironically, I said it before, ironically, this is why I got the Steam Deck and the Steam Deck dock, because I thought, hey, maybe the certified original USB-C dock is bug-free, but no, it isn't. It crashes every other day, like, and I need to reboot I can't suspend because then the USB-C dock doesn't come. And it's like, and the AMD GPU stuff errors out every 4 or 5 days, and I need to power cycle it. It's like, yeah, that's why we can't have nice things in IT, because people break their stuff each other every day, and other people need to bisect it again for 1 hour and guru meditate it for another hour, and hey, and that is fast. Sometimes I look for bugs for days. So this was a fast one, only took 2 hours. Yeah, that's the video. That's it for this video. Leave in the comments below. Maybe I should edit tutorials, how to programming 101 and stuff, because somehow this is too sad and depressing. And I started the YouTube channel because I wanted to do something a little bit more different again, and not only fix other people's bugs. And here we are, 4 years live on YouTube, fixing other people's bugs. I hope you enjoyed this, learned something. Leave me in the comments below your take on refactoring bugs, the state of open source Linux, vintage, retro, PS3 or other stuff. Let's check the comments. There's some comments. Science, advances, the funniest of all times. Alpha was fine when last tested. Itanium, different story. Dynamic kernel loading broken on ZX chipset. Newer machines, SGI chips appear to be fine. For a few years now, commit was part of more general patches switch the block layer to use kmap local page v3. What do you mean? The Itanium breakage was part of more general patch set of switch block layer to use kmap local page v3. Probably thought something like, let's not spend too much time on unsupported. But I mean, I navigated these patches a little bit, right? There were not so many other uses of this, right? I'm surprised they touched it, but also, I mean, maybe they wanted to remove this BVEC KMake. I have no idea really also why they freaking had to touch this here. There, you see it before, right? The BVEC KMake local instead. This is, if you follow the patch commits here, I mean, yeah, it's cleaning up stuff, but this is my point, right? Is this really beneficial to constantly refactor stuff? It's big, as I said, 50%, let's refactor, let's rename, or I don't like this struct, I don't like this naming, or this API sucked, or we don't use this argument. It's like, yeah, it's valid arguments, but accumulating over 30 years of the Linux, maybe we don't have the Linux desktop because we constantly clean and break stuff. I mean, is it, that's the question, right? Is it really worse to constantly clean up stuff if there is so much collateral damage that constantly something breaks? I mean, and of course we have the stable release phase because, I mean, obviously it is known that with all the massive changes and cleaned up, of course so much stuff breaks that the Linux kernel needs some weeks to stabilize, and then better don't use the .0 release, because obviously the .0 release is always broken on something. So I wanted to make a video, no kidding, 2 or 3 weeks ago with all the latest bugs. I actually wanted to make a video like .3 is the new .1, right? Because now my impression is like, we don't wait for .1 to ship it, we better wait for .3 for all the stable release kernel things to be ironed out, even on Epic and thread wrapping and some Intel Silicon to be at least in halfway decent, most showstopper bugs fixed state that we could think about putting it into production. Anyway, that's a short video. That's basically all I had to say to that. And now it's like, yeah, now I get some coffee, walk around the block, and then I see if I can fix it, check some the data corruption there that we maybe have due to not flushing caches, because flushing caches is so year 2000 or so. Cheers. They touched that because they wanted to compile another commit in the set is remove BVEC KMake. Yeah, I know, that's what I said. But there were not so many users of that, maybe even there is. I navigated that. That is what I meant. But again, is it really worth it to constantly? That is my point. Is it really worth to constantly? This is so minor stuff, right? Also, hey, we had some zero BVEC. Let's mem set it differently. Is it optimizing some? So this is also zero. So previously we had zero BVEC. So mem 0. Where is inline Z or who knows what? I mean, it was fine. It was working. Is it so much better? Just a little bit of refactored. I mean, it's like as I said, probably the previous live stream, 20 years ago, I also thought, like, hey, in the Linux kernel, we clean stuff really up. We don't have stable. 20 years ago, I believed this, but 20 years later, like basically 10 years in between, I started already to think like, maybe that's a little bit too much cleaning because constantly stuff breaks. It's like, yes, this is the kind of cleanups we're talking about. Like, use memset 0 bvec to 0 each segment. Like, yeah, let's hope it's fine. Let's hope they don't. Here's flush dcache page, by the way. Here's some flush dcache page as well. Let's hope M0 bvec has that. The more I look at this, the more buggy it looks. Remember when since 2 years I'm joking, I need a beach bar and get out of computer science because everything is freaking broken. I still need. Pro tip, if you consider making your IT hobby a profession, maybe better consider opening a beach coffee, maybe life is a more happy life then. Because in IT everything is freaking broken, TM. No, that is not what I wanted to grab. I wanted to grab M0. This is maybe not the right, or actually it should probably be the... Yeah, static inline. Let's see what they do there. Do they also flush dcache or do they not flush dcache? Where is it even? What did I... Mem0 page. Mem0. But yeah, that is somewhere else. Yeah, nothing like this. Got it somewhere else. I better go. I better go get some fresh air. Where even was I? Oops. Or did I even? What even freaking do I grab here? Did I? There's static mem0 bvec. Did I even grab the right? Oh, no, I didn't. What did I even freaking grab here? Alright, maybe I probably copy and pasted it wrong. Working theme here. Surprisingly few uses of this stuff. Hi mem, static inline, yada yada, blah blah blah, some stuff. Don't tell me it only breaks with hi mem. Mem0. Mem0. Oh, they have flash dcache here. That's at least something. But here is okay. They flash. By the way, they flash dcache there too. Maybe that is not a bug then. If they flash dcache there, kernel dcache page, mem copy page. What was it? Mem. That is mem copy bvec. Oh wait, bvec is in the other right. Mem copy to page. Here is mem copy to page. They only flush dcache here. Mem copy to offset from mem copy. So they flushed it here in any case. Maybe that was superfluous, maybe not, because they don't flush. Unmap local. Nothing like testing this live on this channel. What did let's see if that makes it better. Mem copy from page, mem copy from page. In the others they have that flush dcache there and there, but not in. But there they have mem set. Why would they not have it in mem copy from page? Could be very well the reason, right? I mean, what do I know? Only 25 years in the industry. It's probably fine. Just a tiny little bug. It's nothing. I mean, coming up next to your news site, YouTuber finds dcache flush bug that caused data corruption in Google Data Center for some years. Oh man, what a time to be alive. 200 lines here, 100 lines there, 50 lines there. Oh, come on, 50 lines more. Where is my... The problem is there comes Hyman. Let's rebuild our kernel. So the only... I mean, we could... Okay, let's plug out our... Let's use this one. Probably should... Where do you learn a lot? What? Where do you learn a lot? Where do you learn a lot? What do you mean with that? I learn a lot by doing shit. I learn a lot by doing a lot. That's probably how it works. Where is even my... Let's just cut that to... So you know what we could, you know what, let's... Yeah, fine, it's there. Let's bisect that. It's MI, no, it's the wrong directory. Nothing like we can already reboot. That is there. Can I reboot that? That probably should be. So I'm running 6.4 whatever, but the data corruption bug was the same between the fixed 4, 5, 4, 12 or 14. So, I mean, in the meantime, my file system is totally corrupted, right? Like, thanks for that, guys. You had one job, and now my file system is complete garbage. Like, yeah, now I have a corrupted snapshot. Yay, better for the win. We have corrupted our snapshots, and let's hope it boots one more for a test before it's completely corrupted. Cannot open. What do we have there? Linux something yada yada. gprof. Oh shit. Is it even the right? You know what? Do I have that here or there? What do I have now? Oh, nothing like switching. Where is the Mac? Hey, cool. We have another. No, my system froze. Yay! AMD live AMD GPU. Just while we talk about this. That's what we're here for. The only constant is change integrations, but 100% stable on, as you see. Hey, it recovered without. Leave in the comments below if something is corrupted. It's like here. Instead of fixing AMD GPU to not crap itself out after some days of uptime. Up 5 days. Did I say it crashes every 2, 3? Yeah, nothing like in case this wasn't on camera, because it's like, yeah, nothing like proving my point, like, sure, let's refactor everything, let's refactor the heck out of it, but yeah. And I like AMD GPU kind of sort of otherwise for this open source driver achievement, but it really sucks that on a first class Steam Deck thing with its official USB-C dock thing, sure, am I the only one who used it for 5 days? Yes, maybe, but like, I mean, if you suspend, resume this stuff, and I mean, my workload is not even that intense. It sits on my desk and I do nothing except working on it and switching off the display at the night. It's like, yeah. Yay, quality engineering at its finest. And I already leave it on for 5 days because if I suspend it, the bloody USB deck doesn't, the display port, alt mode USB stuff doesn't, MST stuff doesn't come up properly. So I only leave it on overnight because then it's, otherwise if I suspend it, it breaks instantly. Yay. That's the AMD experience. What did I do here? Does it work like that? Right, I know why this. Now I know why this fails. Let me just zoom link that because the Linux kernel changed between. Let's zoom link Linux to here because we moved it. Hey, we broke our own stuff also by moving it, so it's probably fine. Let's see USB stick in there. Yes. Because it wants to load the profile database, it's not in there. I hope it's still, is it still? It should be. Why does it rebuild everything? It shouldn't rebuild. Oh, right, maybe it rebuilds so much because it's a header file and now everything that includes the bloody header file is rebuilding. Yeah, of course it does. So let's take a look at the amazing comments. As like, yeah, if you want to support all these efforts, there's a Patreon, a YouTube membership, GitHub sponsors, or just OnlyFans it. and or this just super things, and then this is how stuff is deleted, right? And then they found like, hey, it was broken. PS3 was broken since 2 years. Nobody cares anymore. Like, I mean, I knew since a year, but there's also a limit of how much I can debug, bisect, and fix every day of the week. And it's like, this is how stuff is deleted. It was broken since 2 years. Nobody freaking cares. Let's better delete it quickly before someone comes around the corner and wants to use their precious hardware they have standing in the basement. Like, yeah, this is how it works. So, changed mine, wanted to create a distro with enlightenment instead of, yeah, you can just, you don't need to create another distribution. There are already 2000. There probably is a enlightenment live test ISO thing, right? You don't need to create a you don't need to create a 2014 Linux distribution. You can just use T2 and emerge that, right? GNU step, enlightenment. We have it all. We probably should update enlightenment 17 stuff. That's also, yeah. Comment there, don't write kernel firmware code, but anything horrible experience with 3D printer firmware right now, so totally get your point. Thanks for that. Thanks for the data point and sharing. Most of the videos around there, corners learned over time, have been here since the early days, yeah. But you don't need to be here since the early days, just get your hands dirty now, grab your keyboard, get some tools like debug and stuff. By the way, we could check, I mean, maybe we should, I mean, wait, no, this is, oh no, it isn't. Let's check why we are here at 3 in, it was include Linux, HiMem, include Linux, HiMem, copy, page, copy, mem copy. From page, no, there is no flush decache for whatever reason, also not in upstream latest, or at least bisect Z to the USB stick, and then did I already, PS3 is sitting at the ready. Let's see if one more decache fixes the data corruption. The problem is now my BetterF is probably so corrupted, it might still whine, this is the thing, right? It might still whine around, oh, it's corrupted stuff there. Even if a bug is fixed now, like not new corruption, just old corruption, so it could be a thing, need to keep in mind. Yeah, should better not touch the USB stick while this stuff is. Yep, so that's it for this video. You will see in the next seconds whether that finally worked. Trap exit chimes in, fortunately, but just the reality, almost no one is going to use Linux on an over 15-year-old. It's not even that, I mean, they constantly also break stuff on, again, a year ago it was BetterFS, right? It's just another data point, but they also break stuff. They add features to the latest and greatest file system, they break something, right? And maybe after 10 years they should also stop adding features and refactoring a file system if they want to use it in a data center. I mean, at Microsoft or Apple, they would also design a file system once and then use it for a decade, and not like constantly keep changing it for decades. So this is not 6 point something. This is the previous bisect, but the deflush, decache, flush thing should be the same. Alright, I forgot to boot with root. Yeah, darn, this was. Yeah, let's Control Alt Delete. Let's quickly reboot. Should boot this with root equals. I don't want to type all this stuff here live. I could type it, but it's literally Control Alt Delete is little monkey wrench thing here. It's faster than manually. Root equals def ps3 dd3, I believe. My. Yeah, this is also BPF, JIT, right? JIT and kernel, what could possibly go wrong? Enter passphrase, yes, sir. Here, my passphrase. Trusted no one. Okay, there is some corruption. Thank you very much. So it's still corrupting. that's not good. But again, this could be old corruption, right? Let's not call it out. Let's clear the demask. It's a little bit slowish for whatever reason. Touch here. Let's give it some load. Init 3. No, it's the corrupting. Maybe. I mean, read. Alright. The problem is it corrupted from previously? Clearing that. The working copy database is corrupt. Yeah, no kidding. As if I'm totally surprised my working copy is corrupt now. Professionals. Yeah, it's like, yeah, even with my fix, it's a little bit corrupting. It's like, so it's. The problem is I don't also, and this also thing, why did I leave it broken for 1 year? Because I freaking don't have time for this, right? I have a microkernel to write, I have a company to run, I have a YouTube channel to run, I have new I don't every month want to be thanked for hours. I mean, also nobody except your views and patronage pays for that. The problem is now it's I can't be that sure. The best would be to reinstall it to be really sure. What file system did I had in? I totally don't remember what I had there. What did I had? Block ID of PS3 DD2. What do I have there even? I have no idea what I have there, to be honest. Did I not use that? What the heck is that? Did I leave that empty for some reason? I have no idea what I've done with that. I could otherwise create a file system on that. It's not a valid Luke's device, so block ID doesn't. What could I have possibly thought about that? I don't quite remember. How large is that? Partition is 30, so the whole stuff is 900. What did I totally don't remember from. I mean, I don't really have much data on it, so I guess. I mean, we could also create better as on PS3 DD2. OpenC3 failed. Let me guess, it's corrupting. Mount dev PS3 DD2 to media. Ah shit, I don't have the modules and we didn't darn it. Don't have X4 module loaded. Someone's still watching. Mount dev SD to MT. Oh fuck. Yeah, I don't have the matching modules installed for this kernel. But given that makefs still errors out here, wait, why does it? Now it wants def for force overriding. I have the feeling it creates it and sends some check. Why would it say no valid batch is found on? This is so strange. Yeah, I guess it's still corrupting for whatever reason. But it is just this commit, right? So I thought there are 2 bugs. Maybe there's some other similar bug in the commit with open, right? Here in this amazing stuff, which we may or may not have in the history. Allegedly history here of that one, maybe of logs, and yeah, it is set. It's, and so the problem is I thought I'm done, and still have data corruption, right? So yeah, could we, I mean, I could, as a test, I could copy and paste the previous, because this is the thing with refactoring, right? I can't even revert it because it relies on bvec kmap IRQ, which they removed. So I could copy and paste the previous code from, or I could also revert this commit and reinstate bvec kmap IRQ. Yeah, welcome to my life. Leave in the comments below if you, do you want to do IT or do you want to run a beach coffee? Leave in the comments below. Maybe I should, a poll coming to my main channel, as we love polls. Yeah, so why do I not have typing? What happened to my P3? Why do we not have hello? Why do we not, did it crash? Did it corrupt too much? Looks like it crashed. Cool. I'm done. I'm done. I now go to the sunshine and enjoy a walk around the block. Maybe I even jog around the block. I'm done. Ich habe fertig. It's ridiculous. It's, and if this, last but not least, I mean, I don't want to publicly shame those people, but this is just, it's an example, right? And it's a recurring theme. It could have been everyone. It constantly is everyone. And to underline the point is probably, these are the best of the, I'm not shaming them. I'm saying these are the best of the industry, like Christoph Helwig, Jens Axbo, plus the surrounding maintainers and people additionally from Oracle. And yet such bugs happen, right? And if the best of the industry, that certainly above my pay grade and above my experience and daily work on the Linux kernel, if the best of the industry, outstanding maintainers, cause such bugs and regressions, maybe it should prove my point that the constant change and refactoring and changing code just for changing code just to make it a little bit more pretty and cleaning it up a little bit might not be scaling as amazing and might not be as amazing in general, let alone scaling. Like 2 years later, people still bisecting this stuff and finding bugs in it. Maybe that is not the best software development process. But leave in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this and learned something. If you want me to fix all this stuff and making work again, don't forget to Patreon and YouTube membership. Have a good day and night. I need some fresh air. See you soon for all the next fun regressions and bugs. And hopefully finally new microkernel code. Yay, to come.